Mexico, meet with the leader. It's a good move. He did. That was a brilliant move. He was the one who could get into Donald Trump and say, listen, you got to stop tweeting about this. He was the strength there, one of the few people to stand up and to really give advice to Donald Trump that he listened to maybe more than anybody else. Together, him and Reince Priebus were extremely effective in putting, along with Kellyanne Conway, in putting together this run, which makes me wonder, why is everyone going out pointing out they're labeling him an alt-right candidate?
Because he worked for
This is going to be terrible. This is going to be awful.
It's mainstream media. What do you expect?
I did expect more. I did expect more because for 4 months he proved what he could do.
Right, surely, but the mainstream media is going to say what the mainstream media is going to do. Look, this is a brilliant pairing. It's a preview of what the administration is going to look like. You got an insider, you got an outsider. It's exactly what Donald Trump had promised. Then you got Senator Lindsey Graham, who hated Donald Trump during the campaign, but this morning, look at this. Here's a tweet. Congratulations to Donald Trump for an outstanding choice of Reince Priebus to be chief of staff. This shows me he is serious about governing.
Remember, this was the guy, they did not like each other. They were both running against each other, and down in South Carolina, that's where Donald Trump gave out his cell phone number. Yeah. Remember, then he came back smashing his cell phone.
Yeah, right. Hilarious. And, for a while, he tried to jump back and forth, but it didn't work. But he's like many people, I think, there's the enemies list for Donald Trump is shrinking every day. Reince Priebus on shortly. He'll be on here in an hour and 10 minutes. Meanwhile, 60 Minutes, it got huge ratings. Why? Because they spent the whole hour with Donald Trump and the future first family. He talked about, did Donald Trump, really his priorities. Listen.
You met with the Republican leadership. What was the one thing that you all agreed you want to get done right away?
Well, I would say there was more than one thing. There were three things. There was health care, there was immigration, and there was a major tax bill lowering taxes in this country. We're going to substantially simplify and lower the taxes.
And you've got both houses.
And I have both houses, and we have the presidency, so we can do things
you can do things lickety-split.
In a long time since it's happened.
What about the pledge to deport millions and millions of undocumented immigrants?
What we are going to do is get the people that are criminal and have criminal records, gang members, drug dealers. We have a lot of these people, probably 2 million, it could even be 3 million. We're getting them out of our country, or we're going to incarcerate. But we're getting them out of our country. They're here illegally.
Leslie also went on to ask about the kids and the company. Listen to what he said.
Let me ask whether any of you think that the campaign has hurt the Trump brand.
Who cares? Who cares? This is big league stuff. This is our country. Our country is going bad. We're going to save our country. I don't care about hotel occupancy. It's peanuts compared to what we're doing. Health care, making people better. It's unfair what's happened to the people of our country, and we're going to change it. As simple as that.
It's as simple as that.
That was the most surprising answer of the interview.
I didn't think so. I thought the next one that we're about to show you, that was the most surprising
Trump
to me.
said, don't be afraid. Look, he's here to try to make things better. As for how much he's going to make, listen to this.
We have so much work. There's so much work to be done. So I don't think we'll be very big on vacations, no.
Are you going to take the salary, the president's salary?
Well, I've never commented on this, but the answer is no. I think I have to, by law, take $1, so I'll take $1 a year. But I don't even know what it is. Do you know what the salary is?
$400,000.
No, I'm not going to take the salary. I'm not taking it.
I love it. He's so wealthy, he doesn't even know what the salary is. If you're about to get a new job and you're getting a bonus and more money.
And it's a $400,000 job.
$400,000, you would know the salary, but he's so wealthy, he doesn't even need the money. I think the American people appreciate that.
Sure, it's refreshing.
We're going to see over the next few days more and more people is going to fill out his staff. It really takes shape. One thing I would love to see is the diminishing of the riots. I never saw anything like it. They said he's got to go. He hasn't even gotten there yet.
Right.
Now, what are they chanting? I mean,
they're chanting, he's not my president. And extraordinarily, the guy who was the mayor here in New York City, Bill de Blasio, he said, okay, Donald Trump's talking all about deporting all these millions of people. They're going to have a big fight if they try to deport anybody from New York City. And by the way, I'm running for re-election, and how much can you give me to my re-election campaign?
Right.
So essentially what he's making is he's making New York City a criminal alien magnet. When you think about it, out on the streets of New York City, nobody's going to get deported.
Don't worry, Chicago's is asking for it too. Mayor Emanuel has also said we're always going to be a sanctuary city, if that makes you feel good.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, it's talking about making you feel good. Nothing better than Heather telling us the news.
Good morning.
Heather, how are you?
Hi, guys. Good morning. Well, this first story is not going to make you feel good, but I'm going to tell you about it anyway. It is a Fox News alert, and we have a chilling new terror threat to tell you about today. ISIS calling for attacks on Americans here on Thanksgiving Day. The terror group urging followers to, quote, leave a trail of carnage by using trucks to plow through people at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, you know, the one that's televised all across the country. It comes out of here in New York City. The call to action eerily similar to the Bastille Day attack in Nice, France, where 86 people died after they were mowed down by a truck. U.S. officials say they are on alert, but there is no specific threat. We'll follow the story. Hundreds gathering to honor a Northern California deputy who was killed in an execution-style shooting. Deputy Dennis Wallace, a 20-year veteran, was shot twice, point blank, in the head east of San Francisco after he pulled over a suspect in a stolen car. That suspect, David Mikado, a known criminal, was caught then hours later. Deputy Wallace is the 5th officer to have been killed in California in the past 2 months. Outgoing Senate Minority Leader Harry Reid is offering up his pick for the next DNC chair. He wants Minnesota Congressman Keith Ellison. Reid saying the first Muslim elected to Congress is, quote, a terrific leader and a strong progressive who knows how to get things done. Now is time for new thinking and a fresh start at the DNC. Well, Reid's show of support comes after incoming Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer's Friday endorsement of Ellison. And it hasn't happened in 70 years, and if you didn't get to see it outside last night, the supermoon, you'll have to wait until 2034 to see it again. The spectacular sight captured these breathtaking photos, and it wasn't just the professional photographers. Fox and Friends viewers sending in some of these amazing shots. We'd love to see yours as well. I was down in Annapolis, Maryland over the weekend and saw it over the Chesapeake. It was gorgeous.
Were you visiting
Sure
your
was.
brother?
I sure was.
Oh, we're so proud.
I saw some of those pictures from the game.
Yeah, we had fun. The Navy game over the weekend.
He is at the Academy. We're so proud of
We
him.
had a great
All right.
time. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Heather. All right, coming up on this Monday, now that Reince Priebus is in the cabinet, actually the chief of staff, how will the transition go? Brad Blakeman was in a president administration, for 2 of them, 41 and 43. He's going to take us inside the Oval Office, show us how it all works.
And the Nebraska Republican Senator
Ben Sasse.
Sasse is taking voters for a ride. Literally, the lawmaker's second job that has everyone talking.
Mr. Uber?
As RNC Chairman Reince Priebus is officially named as the new Chief of Staff. So what exactly does this choice say about Mr. Trump's future administration? Mr. Brad Blakeman joins us, who is a former Deputy Assistant to President George W. Bush and served on his transition team, as well as Bush 41, worked for 41. Thank you so much, Brad, for joining us.
Morning.
Good to see you. First of all, what do you think about him choosing Reince Priebus? Was that a good choice, and why?
I think it's a great choice, and the reason is Reince Priebus knows how Washington works. He's a lawyer. He's a professional. He ran the RNC with great management skills. He actually reincarnated the RNC after our losses and made us stronger and brought us to a fantastic historic victory with President-elect Trump. So he has all the qualities that you'd want in a chief of staff: a good manager, somebody who's trusted by the president-elect, and somebody who can implement those policies and bring together a diverse staff in order to hit the ground running on January 20th.
Yeah, we know how important loyalty is to Donald Trump. What are the duties of the Chief of Staff?
Well, you got to keep all the planes and trains running. You've got to manage the staff. You've got to be the person in charge of the care and feeding of the president, making sure that he's comfortable in his position. It's a 24/7, 7-day-a-week job. You got to keep all the balls in the air, not let one drop. It is something that is really for a person who is steeped in managerial skill and ability, which is exactly what we have in Reince Priebus.
Brad, take us inside the administration now, or the transition team now. What's going on behind the scenes?
They're casting a wide net. in order to get the best and brightest attracted to government. You have a diverse group of people to hire, national security staff. You have a press office to fill, legislative affairs, public liaison. So what we need to do is make sure that they are getting and attracting the best and brightest who are not only good at what they do, but are loyal and to the president and have the ability to enact his legislation and his policies.
You know, after spending the last 17 months campaigning, as soon as the president wins the office, you have to hit the ground running. I was reading on his website, on his transition team's website, they have to hire 4,000 people. How do you even begin to do that?
Well, you start by having a priority, and the priority is getting the White House first and foremost up and running, get the cabinet selections, sub-cabinet, and then let them fill in as they go. It's probably going to be a 6-month process by the time you're able to staff up your government. And remember, a lot of those people have to be confirmed by the Senate.
Who do you think what happens next? Does he get together the cabinet? And if so, who's going to be on that cabinet, in your opinion?
I think it's going to be a diverse cabinet. Look at the choice between Reince Priebus, the chief of staff, and Steve Bannon, who's going to be the senior advisor. It's a diverse group of thought. The key is bringing people together who can have tension and come to agreement. And then once decisions are made, lockstep in getting it done. So the key is get people of diverse talent who can add something, and not just people who are groupthink or like-think.
Brad, do you want to do it again? You going to go work for him?
It would be an honor to serve this president. There's no doubt. There's so much to do, and we need to make America great again.
Thank you so much for being with us, Brad.
Pleasure.
It's fascinating to have an insider tell us what really is happening behind the scenes. Thank you. The numbers don't lie. Obamacare premiums rising in some states, in all states actually, but as much as 116% in a few. Can President-elect Donald Trump turn that trend around? Obamacare architect Dr. Ezekiel Emanuel is going to join Brian next with where we go from here. And Nebraska Republican Senator Ben Sasse is taking voters for a ride. Literally, the lawmaker's second job that has everyone talking.
President-elect Donald Trump says he's open to keeping some aspects of Obamacare.
Are you going to make sure that people with preconditions are still covered?
Yes, because it happens to be one of the strongest assets.
You're going to keep that?
Also, with the children living with their parents for an extended period, you're going to
keep
very
that?
much try and keep that. Adds cost, but it's very much something we're going to try and keep.
Wow. So what do those who helped craft the president's signature bill think about that? The fact that those aspects are going to be still in place. Obamacare architect himself and medical ethics and health policy chair at UPenn, Dr. Ezekiel Emanuel joins us right now. Dr. Emanuel, I'm sure you saw 60 Minutes. You heard about those two things that the soon-to-be President-elect Trump would like to keep. Is that okay with you?